is Dongguan, and Dongguan is kind of a factory city. It's a little bit spread out, and when I have come here, I have kind of enjoyed it. A lot of people say, oh, it's really trashy, but I don't really see it that way. The people are really nice. And you know, for guys, I'm gonna let you know something. There are far more women in this city than there are men. And I mentioned this in another video, which is not the case in other parts of China. In other parts of China, women have it kind of good because there are far more men out there than women. You can do some internet searches on this. It's a widespread known phenomenon. It's just every social scientist out there is aware of it. There's an overabundance of men. But in Dongguan, because of the nature, it's a light industry city. There's lots of clothes made out there. And I've actually traveled to factories out there, spent weeks translating at factories that are garment factories, right? That they're foreign owned, or 50% foreign ownership, old joint ventures where the business entity, it was created a long time ago. So it's not like now where you can have what's called a WFI, a wholly foreign owned enterprise. But at any rate, 50-50 foreign owned joint ventures where they're making clothes, right? They're doing some modern stuff, not just clothes, but you know, they've got technology where they can do this 3D printing. They can make custom, very small orders, like 40 uniforms. They don't have to do some huge batch to make it economical. At any rate, I could see it. You know, when you've got a bunch of sewing machines, not just a 3D printer. The 3D printer, the kind of the guys who are operating that, but most of the factory workers are women. It's just so. But remember, is that the kind of person that is sort of in your sights, who you're thinking about? If you're a guy, just something I thought I'd throw out there. Now let's see. Well, you can see up there now it's 239 kilometers per hour. That's the speed. Yeah, it's real fast, sure. Okay, but it was at 269 for a while, back about 10 minutes ago. But again, like I said in this other video, for traveling short distances, it's better to go by bus because you don't have to spend so much time messing around just to wait in line to get on the thing. You might miss, it's overcrowded, all the tickets are sold out for a particular one, then you're waiting another time, there are fewer, it's just, really, it's better to take a bus if you're not going further, if you're not going that far. You can see my other video about that. But let's see if we can get some more visuals of Dongguan here. We are actually probably, by the time we get out of this tunnel, we probably will be out of Dongguan. This thing's going so fast. Wow, not only that, but we've moved in an area where there's lots of clouds. Yeah, it really is quite fast. I remember in Germany driving with my girlfriend. My girlfriend in Germany would let me drive her car, and I'd go 175 kilometers per hour. I did that lots, about 175, 180 kilometers per hour. And so I know it's fast, but this is very fast. So again, we're in South China. Hopefully, if you've watched my other videos, you'll know kind of where we are. Now you can see kind of some of the air above that city is actually pollution, not just, well, no, I'm not sure. It could be rain, you know, in rain from the distance, when you look at rain coming down, it kind of all looks grayish when it's. Let's see if I can take a look at one of these signs here. Okay, this is one of the little villages, or not villages, but sort of the sub-districts of Dongguan. So Dongguan is known as a place where most of the factories have moved out here. Along this particular line, you can't really see that, but if you drive through the other parts of the city, okay, where we were, this doesn't go through the main part of Dongguan. Back there, you may have heard it said Humen, and Humen is not the center of Dongguan, so we're not really seeing all the factories. We're kind of seeing where there's people living. Well, oh, by the way, Guangzhou is about 50% outsiders. I mean, people not from Guangzhou, and it's 50% local people. So Guangzhou has a different feeling than Shenzhen, right? Guangzhou is still 50% local Guangdong people, very heavy Cantonese speaking. You often find that foreigners who have been living in Guangzhou for a long time, you know, you look at their website and they'll say, oh, I've been trying to learn Cantonese, or, you know, I've come this far in Cantonese. And I mean, they end up wanting to learn Cantonese, right? You really do if you spend some time there. And I'll tell you, I've purchased a couple of books on Cantonese. I read newspapers where they do use some Cantonese characters, so I've looked up a lot of Cantonese characters because I like to be able to read the newspapers, and I do understand some Cantonese. It's very surprising how much Cantonese I, in fact, can understand. Because I'll give you an example, like a report, bo do. In Mandarin, it's bao dao. Cantonese, bo do. If I say, how are you? In Mandarin, ni hao ma. Ni hao ma. Now in Cantonese, lei ho ma. You can hear that ho hao is something. It's similar, but it's not quite the same. And there are slight grammatical differences. Cantonese, I would say, I don't know, there's 10 to 15% of Cantonese has different grammar. Okay, there are different structures happening. And while most of the characters are the same, there are some differences. And also sometimes they'll use a character that in Mandarin has one meaning, but then once you bring it into the world of Cantonese, then it will be different. Sometimes totally different. But usually that doesn't happen. By and large, if you can read Mandarin, you're going to also be able to read Cantonese, but not completely, because there are some common, very important structural or process-related words that they have a different character for them, and also their placement within a sentence is different too. Wow, we've got some rain happening. Not good. Okay, well. So at any rate, remember that if you're thinking about Guangzhou, there's lots of people who go and teach there teaching English. I have lots of friends who are, they'd be 1 year at Web International English, and then maybe a year in Guangzhou at Web International English, because there's lots of there's branches up there, and there are branches in Shenzhen. Now the Shenzhen branches of Web International English, there are 7 of them. If you include Dongguan, right, the city we just went through, Dongguan has like 3 branches, 2 or 3 branches with Web International English, and 4 or 5 branches. Oh, now you can see Oh, you can see in the distance there some of the skyscrapers. Just barely. Yeah, I don't know if you can see it. Can you see there? There's some skyscrapers. And Guangzhou, none. That's where I'm getting off. Okay, I'll see you guys later. I'm getting off at the South Station in Guangzhou, not the main Guangzhou train station, just in the south part of the city. See ya.